Hi there, welcome back.
It's awesome to have you back. Yeah.
And we are at a different venue.
Yes.
You cannot see it, but the ocean is outside, the mountain behind us.
It's so awesome to wake up to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Had good sleeps.
Yes.
No, I lie, I actually slept like shit.
I slept wonderfully.
Well, there we go. At least one of us.
That's why we look, I look like this.
Refreshed.
Yeah, lekker.
Yeah, today we are going to be sharing some insights from two different angles on social media and screens, all of that.
The swear word amongst moms.
Yes.
In my case, not. Yes.
Or the one we get judged for the most. But yeah, if you haven't yet, please like, follow, and subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, definitely. And also share us with people that you feel might need to hear.
Yes.
Or share your opinions and
Yours.
stories.
Yeah.
Please. We'd
We
like
are-
to hear from you.
Yeah, we would love to hear it so that you can also share your experiences and victories.
Yes.
Or even struggles.
And have a space to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll want to hear from you. So talking about social media, the do's, the don'ts, the
Good, the bad.
what works with your household and what doesn't. No judgment. Not between us in any case.
No.
Yeah. So, and also how it works differently with your kid's diagnosis toward my kid's diagnosis. And how again wide the whole spectrum is, and it really shows when it comes to things like social media.
Yeah.
And how it influences them. So yeah.
Because our realities in social media are completely different.
100%.
Or screens
100%
are completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do you find it? And what's your limits or do you have limits?
It's actually so difficult because, or not difficult, but I want to say confusing if you look at it from a parent's point of view. Because then some parents, if their kids have like the same diagnosis as your kid, and they allow completely different sort of, I want to say, screen time, or allowing their kids to go on a specific game or social media or whatever. And then, when you talk to that parent, and it's not like, oh, my child gets dysregulated, or that's not the problem.
Yes.
Whereas in my household it is. But then again, both our kids are completely different.
On the same diagnosis. But I think also that's where personalities come in,
but also one is more severe.
Right.
But I'm also thinking our son, I'm starting to doubt the fact that there's any ADHD or anything like that there. Whereas with our daughter, it is really on the other side. So it is in that sense two opposites.
Yeah.
I want to say he's more than neurotypical. So yeah.
But then also because of the two very far apart, being so far apart in their diagnosis, or maybe not even the diagnosis, how do you keep a balance?
Exactly.
And
because
stop
you can't,
fighting, because then there's internal fighting.
You can't
if
allow one
one
and not the other. Yeah. So look, with our son, it's okay, the TV is off, that's it, listens, it's like he follows the instructions or the rules or something like that. But then with our daughter, it's a kickback. But if there's too much screen time, she gets completely dysregulated, and she struggles to switch off, and she'll always push boundaries, or she's so engulfed in it. You can speak to her and it's as if she's in her own world, her own bubble, and she cannot hear anything else from anybody besides her focus on the TV. So it's challenging. to have those two opposites, but then it's also the fight of who gets to hold the remote. I've had to put a schedule up of who holds the remote, because then it's just like a complete shit show in our house. So it's not like almost even worth it. But, you know, then you got the screen time on the TV, and then you got the screen time on the phone. And, you know, then there's also people that are like, my kid's not going to have a phone till they this age or whatever. Yes, now our daughter does have a phone, but it's not like she's got her own number. It's not like she's allowed on social media. She, you know, she does it via, I want to say, my phone. So I've set her up so that I can see everything that's going on her phone.
Right. Yeah.
So I can monitor it.
Because that's the other part of it. Like, what do you allow
Exactly
as the watch? And then again, that whole thing, friend's house, they're allowed X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And you're like,
Yeah.
this is not working. But mom,
this one has this. Why can't I? Why can't I? Well, firstly, you two are very different. Secondly, it's different households. Their rules and our rules are not the same.
Right.
And it's also, they learn so quickly what to do on
and
a
usually
phone.
the stuff that they shouldn't learn.
do. Yeah. And I mean, you know, she's figured out different ways or different things to get on, you know, wherever. It's like, what's that thing? Snapchat. Like, you know, they love it. They call it funny faces. And that's how it started. But then my daughter realized if she keeps scrolling and doing different things, she gets to a whole other sort of world on that platform. And the stuff on there is inappropriate. So then I've had to stop that. They're not allowed to watch YouTube, for example, because then they end up on stuff that is, again, not appropriate or not age appropriate.
Right.
And even on certain programs at home, we don't allow them to watch certain things because it might just be a few years too old. But I mean, at this point, it's like you have a newborn baby versus a 1-year-old. Those are two completely opposite sort of experiences, but it's like almost it's become sort of the same thing now at this age. You being 9 or 10 is very different to you being, I want to say, 11, 12, or 13.
So being forced to grow up too quickly.
And we don't want that to happen. Like, let them stay kids for as long as they can. And, you know, by allowing them to go on whatever episode they want to, then it's the attitude that comes with it. The whole, it's just, like, honestly, I want to, like, have a shit fit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to lose it completely because, firstly, it's not my kid. And they then also get confused between what is reality and what is the virtual world or online or...
Yeah, and they act completely out of character.
Yes.
Of who they really are.
And say things that are different. And
it's almost like it becomes that extra peer pressure bully.
Yeah.
But not because it's not real.
But it's also they can't grasp that concept yet. So that's very hard.
And I think also that's the danger of social media is that even adults that should grasp it can't always. I think that's the whole fear also with AI and all that weirdness that people can't really distinguish between what is an AI fake and what is, you know.
Yeah. And
if you can protect them as long as you can from it, why not?
And it's like I've had to say, because I could hear it. It wasn't her. It was the TV talking to me. And I said, listen, this isn't a movie. This is real. And this is not what we do. And you have to get really strict. And then they think now you're this horrible, strict mother and you don't allow them to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, I've told you not allowed to. Then they push boundaries. And then they're like, you're not looking. And then they're on it.
But I think also us growing up at the same, it was just not social media. But there's always that.
But I want to say it was healthier.
But your parents will always somehow become the villain.
Yeah.
because when you're a certain age and too young, you don't realize that you think they're doing it to punish you or I don't know, just try and spoil their fun.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they're actually just trying to protect you. But I also think there are, sometimes I feel like some parents also take it too far, maybe, because it's like when you completely exclude alcohol 100%, and then they become 18 and they go completely overboard.
Yes, they go off the rails, and it's just so much worse off.
So difficult to find that balance though.
Yeah.
Because we live in the crazy world where you just have to keep on trying to protect, but it's like the more you try to protect, the more there's this thing that try and push us for it to and the younger and
and it's also like they're exposed to it at such a young age where we weren't. And and I want to say it's also, I think there's a good and there's a bad of screens or social, or not social media per se, but I suppose when the kids get older, yes, it is social media,
100%.
but screens and being online, but then again with ADHD and ASD, it's completely two different types, or some might be the same, and in on the spectrum, and then even in the same diagnosis, but it's still, and then it's completely
different. The reactions or what
opposite. Yeah. And I think the virtual world, if I can call it that, so now summarizing social media, screens, TV, whatever, it's more like predictable. It's this constant that is I want to say filtered version. It's what did I want to say? It's almost like a safe space in the sense that they know what to expect, whereas reality is there is no routine. There is no nothing is guaranteed. Everything can be unexpected. The sounds, the noises, the circumstances can change. It's so unfiltered, and that's also where I think a lot of kids get, I want to say, like sucked into a world that isn't real online, because it's more something that they can control, whereas they can't control reality.
Right. And I think also getting to that is why screen time works more often or is less frowned upon in the autism world. Because of that, they want to control their surroundings a bit more, because it is so chaotic for them outside.
Yeah.
In the real world. And if they can live in that bubble, they're in their safe space.
But it's not necessarily a good thing.
It's not,
because it's avoiding reality.
Yes.
And that can almost do more damage.
Yeah.
But so it's not, look, I suppose this is now also where the other one comes in. It's not necessarily good or bad. It can work in favor of both, sort of, for neurotypical, neurodiverse, whatever, as long as it's used correctly and it has limits. And I mean, if you think about us as grown-ups, we doom scroll and we are constantly on our phones. So how can we tell our kids not to go do that? And also with ADHD side, and I'm not sure what it is like on the ASD side or whatever, but it's like it's an instant dopamine hit with the scrolling. It's these quick, instant gratification. Exactly. And you know what? It's not the screen's fault, and it's not social media. It's actually the parents that allow it. And a lot of the parents don't have rules. And we had to learn very quickly, we have to put rules in place. And at one point it was like, you have to watch something educational before you can watch whatever you want to watch. Well, not whatever, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, or it's, you can't sit in front of the TV the whole weekend because you know you're gonna go,
You're not
numb,
gonna
you're
learn
gonna be
something,
doof,
maybe,
you know.
or, yeah.
And so you have this, at one point, I'm like, okay, TV off. You guys can go play outside or whatever. The TV can go on again at 4:00 this afternoon.
Yeah.
And now they're more accepting of that. But in the beginning, it's not that easy, and they push back, and then it's meltdowns, and it's this complete dysregulation. And I mean, the dysregulation itself is like soul destroying, and with regards to the siblings, it also affects them. It's so overwhelming, and they retreat, and they half get dysregulated within themselves, but then they feel, I can't get dysregulated now because that's happening, and I don't want to make mommy upset, or what. It's actually just this vicious cycle. So for me, it's also knowing the balance, know when to stop.
Right.
And I mean, us as parents or adults can't even stop sometimes.
And I think also that's where it's important to just have a finger on the button there and know what your kids are watching when they're watching.
Absolutely.
I know you don't want to be that helicopter parent. I understand that. And some people want to be the cool parent, and I get all of that, but you need to have a hand on things.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it for themselves yet. They're not big enough to make life choice decisions.
Yeah.
And that's where parenting comes in.
Exactly. It's like, I've heard our daughter put on something, and I was like, okay, this seems okay. And then all of a sudden I heard one sentence. I was like, I don't want you watching this. Because of, it's too old for you. I don't like the way they talk. That's not real. It's not how life works. And now it's become more, she will accept it more.
But also I think it's so important not to just tell your kids no.
You have to explain.
And explain why.
Why.
Explain the dangers.
Yeah.
Explain what to look out for. Because that's how they learn cause and effect as well.
And it's not like there's a fire, don't touch it. Okay, why mustn't I touch it?
Exactly.
Because it's hot. You can burn yourself. It'll hurt.
Yeah.
You can have a mark. It can be dangerous. You can burn the house.
Exactly.
There's a whole pile of things. As you teach a baby, or from like baby to toddler, you have to explain things. You have to teach them about life. It's still the same. The kids are still just kids. Just because they might be 7 or 9 or 13 doesn't mean they understand the world. You still, and I'm at fault there as well, because I'm like, why must I explain this to you? You should know this already.
Yeah.
It's not obvious to them.
And sometimes it takes 50 times telling them the same thing before it actually...
I've said, I want to sometimes record myself saying something and then just rewind, play, because I've said it so many times.
It's not always that they're pushing the boundaries in that sense, although it might feel to you like, but you should know this by now.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were not ready to learn the results yet.
Yeah.
Does it make sense what I'm saying? So when they're ready, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
They're going to get it. Or sometimes they need it to feel.
Because
you don't want them, like, let's say fire. Okay, that's maybe an extreme example, but let's use fire because that was an example now.
Or like a candle, a flame, or
so sometimes they have to burn.
Yeah.
Not burn down, but burn, because just telling them it's going to hurt, don't do it. Yeah. They're not going to learn. But you also want to protect them from but sometimes they need to feel that. But that's also, again, where you as a parent need to step in to make sure that it's not severe damage or severe...
It's not going to maim them in any way. Yeah, exactly that. You have to let them experience things for themselves. Because that's how we all learn. You can't protect your kid. You have to allow them to make mistakes. Even as a grown person, sometimes you have to make the mistakes. They're going to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You can tell them or guide them, but they're going to need to understand the fighting of it, the what the love feels like, what, you know, getting dumped or whatever it feels like, or whatever, you know, they have to experience that. You cannot protect them through everything, but you can guide them and they can know that you're always there.
And that you're not just there to cause more trauma.
No.
You're there to help and protect and safe space and be a sounding board and
exactly,
and you know, be the guidance counselor if needs be, or be the it's just sad sometimes not all kids have that, but again, this is where why we talking about this is so that we can learn and maybe again learn through learned experience how to just be a better parent or just be more present.
And I mean, it's not easy. No, like by no means. I mean, you can sit with a glass of wine with a parent. Oh yeah, I know about that one, and you know, oh, we've been through that. And then people are going to tell you what they want you to hear. So if they want to tell you how they've got it all together, bullshit. Because 100%. No one has it all together. Not one single person. And if they tell you they do, I'd be like,
they're either not parenting or they have a nanny that does it for
them and they're not involved.
I'm sorry, I'm judging, but
there are people like that. There are.
Goodness me.
But now, quickly just going back, you know, the screens and stuff, it's also can be a sensory overload. But with others, it can be a grounding.
And that's Kayla,
my daughter. Exactly.
And from the groups that I'm on with parents with kids with autism, so often they say that us parents with autism kids gets judged so severely because screen time and screens has quite an opposite effect on our kids, where it does ground them. It does make them understand reality easier because they learn through
visual
what others show them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't necessarily want a grown-up to show them,
or their parent.
They want someone that looks like them, so they will find those things or the things that interest them. And it might not be something that I even understand because, like, let's be honest, so often when they are interested in a specific field, they really know a lot about it. And
they get engulfed in that.
Absolutely.
They lose themselves.
It's almost like an addiction in that area.
Yeah.
And they will know everything and anything about it.
Yes.
Which then is not necessarily something that I have knowledge of.
No.
And when it's someone on a screen, yes, it's bright and it might be loud and but they learn quicker. And
it's the visual stimulation in a 100%. Way to take in that information.
And the colors and and all that has a different stimulus on the brain for someone that has autism. Like literally last week, my kid kept her head up in the deep side of the swimming pool by herself because she watched YouTube videos on seeing how babies are taught to swim, and she could do it. I was a swimmer. I've been trying for 9 years to teach my kid to swim. She can help herself in the water, but she will drown in an instant if her feet can't touch because she gets freaked out and through watching a YouTube video, she learned what to do and she could do it. And that's just one of the, I mean,
and she can watch it once, whereas we would need to watch it 5 times. Yeah.
A life skill that could save her life that I, as her mom, couldn't teach her in real life.
That you've done 100 times.
I've taught other kids because I was a swimmer. So I would have holiday jobs, even at school, teaching kids how to swim. And I couldn't teach my own child because her brain doesn't do it in real time. She needs that distance that a screen provides, seeing it, letting it sink in the brain to be able to physically manifest.
They clearly, and it's like for me, I learned through I images. That's my thing, and numbers for some reason.
Yeah.
But I picture everything, and then it's like it forms a story, and that's for me. That's what sticks.
Right.
But it's also for us also, it's the fact that I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to teach it. It's somebody else. And then, for example, our daughter, I can't do homework with her. It's like World War III in our house. So I choose my relationship with her over homework. And then I would rather pay someone else to do the homework with her and have peace in the house. You see, then it's again somebody else. It's not me. So it's like with the screens, it's somebody else, not me.
Right.
And that is like
I also
learn.
think that as it's always easier to teach someone else's kid.
Yeah.
Because when it's you with your kid, you both tired because last night we didn't sleep, or you both irritated because just a half an hour ago we had a bit of a tiff.
Yeah.
Or, so all that is removed when it's an outsider that
it's like you are their safe space, you are their comfort, so they can be themselves when they're with you. So they can literally say, no, I don't want to do this, or push you away, or whatever. But then when it's a different person doing it, it's almost like they must, pick up their chin, shoulders back, and focus, And
I also think that they do realize that they don't then have the whole day with that person.
Yeah.
So that
or sort of toggle with them to say, or push back.
Right.
Because the person's going to be like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that, as you said, with you need to have a very strict restriction on screen time and what they watch. In our household, we do have restrictions, obviously, on what she's allowed to watch, but the limit on screen time is a lot more laxed in my house.
Yeah.
Because she really does improve, really does learn through screen.
And she doesn't get dysregulated.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, it grounds
regulates her.
She that frustration disappears, that anxiety
decreases, gets brought down.
Because also she knows if she doesn't get it immediately, she can rewind and it can happen again in the exact same way.
order. Yes.
So she can
it's
control
predictable. It's
her reality.
Or no, her virtual
reality, but it becomes her reality in her brain. She can put that puzzle
she
in
learns,
piece,
yes.
and that's how she learns.
Yeah.
She can't sit in a classroom. That will dysregulate her.
Yeah.
Among other kids, different speeds of learning, all that stuff, it won't work with her type of
it's like
brain.
Her sort of thing would almost be like a Montessori sort of.
Yeah. And with her, it's play to learn, or
yes.
it's it's not
a
this
book.
Is ABC because this is what we said ABC is.
Yeah.
It won't work with her. But on that thing is, like we've said before, she's nonverbal or classified as nonverbal, even though she had maybe like 15 words about 2 weeks ago. And we
yes, we're going to get to that story now.
Okay. Yeah. So how screen time has affected her, which we did find by accident, because in the beginning, before I really understood how her brain works, I was also like, you have an hour a day. So however it's spread out over the day, but an hour a day of screen time, because all the books tell you that how terrible screen time is for you and how bad the kids behave because of it, and how
What's amazing is now all the books, there's no book to parenting, but all the books will tell you what you must and mustn't do with your kids.
Right.
It's no. You will know as a mother what
Well,
isn't
you
right.
learn.
But it's a guideline. They mustn't say screens are bad for your kids because it distracts. No, it doesn't. It's not bad for everyone.
No. And like you even said, how it affects your one child to the other child is not even, and they come from the same genetics.
Yeah.
It's not even the same in the same household with the same genes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
brought up
I don't
the same
have
way.
a
Everything.
second kid to compare that part to, but they are cousins, although adopted, but also on the spectrum in our family.
Yeah.
That sorry guys, we had a slight technical issue that we needed to sort, but
to pick up where we left off.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that we know people that also have more than one kid on the spectrum, and how it goes from one to the other is a completely different parenting plan, almost, if you can put it that way. What works with the one doesn't work with the other, and that comes to screen time, you can see it big time.
Even though they brought up in the same household, same values, same everything.
It's just what works for the one just does not always work for the next.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Right through, all the way.
And we don't expect them to be the same.
No,
so,
but you do. There is this thing you don't, and and you assume that it won't, but you also want it to work the same because it makes it a little easier. Especially when you're tired and when you're stressed and when you have just very limited time in a day. You want,
or there's no energy.
You want it to be a copy paste, but it's just not.
No.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah. Another aspect of the social media is, now this is specifically with social media or gaming or any form of online, I want to say,
screen
chat or interactive platform, is that kids can also mask and pretend to fit into the neurotypical side of things. It's easier to filter, and exactly that, to let people, you tell people what you want them to hear. And it's almost like a safe space to not be judged or classified as X, Y, and Z, or to say you're different. But then at the same time, in reality, kids also mask, but that also leads to burnout because it's constantly having to put this front up. And I mean, we do it as well, and neurotypical people do it as well. So, and it is exhausting.
It is exhausting.
And that's also why I think with neurodiverse kids, when they have a full day of having to do that in reality and they come home, you are their safe space, and then everything just explodes. Yeah, but then you also have it on social media. Then it's more controlled and they can control it, but that can also lead to a downward spiral in a different way, because just now they say something wrong and then people start judging them, and then it has the opposite effect of what they wanted to achieve there.
But also I feel like kids on the spectrum are also more gullible.
Much more.
So when they're online and you can't necessarily see what the chat is about or where it's leading, they might believe that they've made a friend.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how that whole...
And then it is a whole wormhole of disgusting stuff that
and
could happen.
It's that one where the one person pretended to be the friend and asked for inappropriate pictures of the child.
Absolutely. And that just so that they feel like they have a friend and feel like they do fit in, even if it is not face to face.
Yeah.
You know, they will most probably fall for that and act out or do it just so that they don't lose that friend.
Yeah.
You know, so that peer pressure, that desperation, that peer pressure, especially online, I think is easier, you know, that we need to protect our kids or just be aware of.
Be involved, be open with your kids and say, these are the things that can happen. This is right, this is wrong. If you're not sure about something, come ask me. I'm not going to be angry about it. We can talk it through together. You know, keep that channel of communication open with your kids.
But even they might not, because they don't always understand how the world works in the cruel way, you know. So they might not tell you everything because they think it is the normal thing. Again, I hate that word, but or it is an acceptable, that's the better word. It's more, if that was not an inappropriate question to ask, or it wasn't an inappropriate act for them to want you to do, like you said, explicit photos. So they might not tell you. Even if you have told them, don't send explicit, you know, just to fit in or just to be accepted or feel like they have a space, they might fall for it.
To feel special,
if you ask them, they won't tell you because they're scared you're going to stop the friendship. Meanwhile, so you need to have a handle on it.
Be open with them from the beginning if they're going to do it.
Absolutely.
And also, I know of parents that actually, well, I've done it. I've taken the phone because I was like, okay, what photos have been taken? What sites have been visited? Because listen, the maneuvering on that phone, they're going to figure a way outside of the limits that you've put in place. And so much so, I've had to delete a few things, like app-wise, that is child-friendly, that isn't child-friendly.
Right.
That there's a dark sort of
twist to it
at the back. So it's just going onto your kid's computer, going into your kid's phone, and make that a rule. If you give them that privilege of having social media or any form of account or a phone or whatever, have that openness to say, this is fine, but no, at any given time, I'm allowed to check that. And you make it like a specific password that they can't change settings or whatever. And I know parents that do that and it works amazing.
Yeah, I think don't do it behind their backs, because that's the first thing you will do to break that trust.
Exactly.
You know, and then you will never hear the truth and be able to protect your kids. So rather be open.
Yeah.
Just like you want or expect of them to be open with you, you should be the same.
Yeah.
Give them that same respect. But it goes both ways.
No, absolutely.
So yeah. But it is important to keep that highway open.
You know, and at the same time, as bad as what social media and screens and all this technology can be, it also is a great tool for kids that have, I want to say, learning difficulties or dyspraxia or dyslexia. You know, you've got your voice notes, for example. Now I'm just talking phone-wise. You've got that button you press and you say things and it writes it for you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know what that's called. I mean, you can get that on every single platform, and even for, you know, people that are blind or that struggle in certain ways. I mean, there's loads of different ways that technology is positive. So it's such a catch-22.
Yeah. I can share my story of where it is positive. Beside that, we spoke about her learning how to swim through watching videos, and I actually wrote about it on my Facebook account.
Yes. So what is your experience with the screens?
So we've been trying to find Kayla's key to being verbal, because I know she has the ability. She understands words. She can follow instructions, basic instructions, but you can follow it. She just learns differently, and we have not been able to access how, really what that thing is that makes her brain tick, of where she can learn just the simple thing of how to speak.
To process and retain that information.
Right. And then and then about 2 weeks ago, we were watching Miss Rachel, that wonderful lady in the dangaree that she sings songs, and and then they do some sign language while she's singing or while she's talking. So she would be like, it's they did the rainbow colors. So since we're rainbow genes, it actually fits in perfectly. And, and it's a rainbow.
Which we'll post the link below.
100%.
And then whoever wants
Thank you, Miss Rachel. I love you.
And in case. Yeah, whoever wants to use it, maybe it's a tool for them as well.
Yeah. And then, and then it's like, it's purple and it's blue and it's yellow. And so then I saw Kayla copying. And so I was like, okay, well, let's see. Because she's always been good with copying dance moves and movement stuff.
And also in the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. But getting this to go, she's only actually really learned the few words that she can speak through watching herself and us in a mirror.
Yes.
Doing that, which I think ties in with how this now came about. And I'll explain now. But then I was like, maybe I should learn a few words in sign language, and then
it's a way of communication.
Again, I can speak to my child, even if it is not through the mouth, but sign language. So I would be like, so Kayla, this is purple. And the next moment she goes, purple. And I'm like, wait. Except for Papa, you've never even used the letter P in the word. And I'm like,
go get an earbud, clean the ears.
And also not, and L and R is really difficult for her to control. So she also omits that, or doesn't use, if I tell you I love you, then she will go, I'm you.
But I mean,
because the L is intimidating, the R is intimidating.
And that's for every kid. Well, for most.
Right? And then, so then I'm like, and this is yellow. And she goes, yellow. And I'm like, and then I'm like, okay. And mama. And then she goes, mama. And dada. And then she goes, dad. And I'm like, and within 4 days, she spoke 25 new words.
It's amazing.
I've got goosies again, like goosebumps, and I'm going to cry. But she spoke 25 new words in 4 days. My child is 9, and she learned and lost a total of about 15 words in her life. So, Miss Rachel, you're my new hero and will always be my hero. Thank you. So yeah, that's inspired us to learn sign language more, and she's taking to new and getting more gutsy, because I think she that anxiety of forming the words has disappeared somehow. And I think, to get back to what I wanted to say before with the mirror, I think the other senses, when they are heightened, like looking in the mirror, so the sight, doing the moves, so it's like a movement, dancing, it takes the anxiety
And
away
that's
of
distraction.
this connection.
Yeah.
So now the pressure is off actually saying it, and then she does it. And she understands what it is. So it's not just copying. Now I'll be like, and then she goes, Mama, you know, she gets it, and she knows that I'm Mama. So it's just absolutely mind-boggling, and it's such a big achievement for her.
And I'm sure for her it also feels...
And for me.
And
oh my gosh.
She also feels, I think, more... I want to say happier, in the sense that she can communicate and sort of maybe say what she wants you to hear, or communicate in that way, so that frustration's also gone.
And I think her confidence.
Oh, yes.
She's always been a confident child, because we believe in the whole upliftment and boosting and stop just before getting big-headed, you know. So we've always been at the confidence boosting side, but now I can see her becoming a whole in that confidence. I don't know, it's like her puzzles are just falling into place, and I think we found her key. I really do. And it hasn't stopped. That next morning, after the 25 words thing, and I was like, did I dream? Like, it was an awesome dream, but I hope it wasn't a dream, you know? And then she woke up and she said to me, hello, Mama. She combined words that she's only ever been able to do in a Disney song, you know? And then it comes out completely wrong. And it was clear as day, like, hello, Mama. And then she said to Jonathan when he got into the room, and she's like, hello, Dada. And I'm like, my child is talking. It absolutely insane. Heart is bursting from pride and joy and yeah. So, and this is because of screen time.
Exactly.
Screen time.
Complete opposite effects.
Again, it's not like we haven't been trying to teach her for 9 years. But also, she was ready. She's ready. Her brain is now at a place where she
is willing to take in new
information. Because I think even if we tried with the sign language and all of this 3 years ago, she would look at me funny and maybe do the movements.
Yeah.
And still not have that connection of what does it mean. But yeah. So that's us on a very happy note. Yeah, no, super excited, and like I said on my post on Facebook also, I hope I posted it not as a brag or but maybe a little, but I feel like I'm allowed.
Yeah,
you know,
you wanted to share your
but it was also for myself as a reminder that next year or 2 years or 5 years down the line, when that pops up and we have a new difficulty, maybe, that I remind myself that small victories with her will come when she's ready, when we're ready, and when we find the next key, you know? So, yeah, it's not all doom and gloom with social media. You know your child, or if you don't, learn them. Learn about them and what works for them and your household, and
try things out. I mean, even if it fails, then you know it didn't work.
Or it might just not be the right time.
Exactly.
Like I said, sign language and verbal skills 3 years ago wasn't the right time. And here we are. Someone by accident mentioned Miss Rachel, and I was like, well, whatever. And yeah. So on that happy note, I think we should conclude. Yeah. Even though I hope the words keep flowing and one of these days she will have a TED talk or two. Imagine. Yeah. No, I'm super proud of her, and I'm happy to be able to share it with all of you, but with you also, and
when I spoke to you on the phone and you told me that, I think the whole store heard me. What?
yeah. It's awesome to know that so many people are rooting for her also to succeed and be better and grow and
because it's exhausting for you guys as well. I mean, it's exhausting just being a parent at the best of times. Add neurodiversity to it, it's more challenging. Add nonverbal or whatever other challenges, it's just this hill that just becomes more difficult to climb. And that's amazing.
So I just wanted to say also, I have thanked Miss Rachel 14 million times now, and you and everybody, but I just really wanted to thank everybody that has been supporting us and our journey, and all the prayers, and I think keep them coming. But yes, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you.
So then this episode goes out to Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel, my
this
hero.
This one's dedicated to you.
And so,
yes. Well, thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you for being here again.
Like, follow, and subscribe.
Yes. Us and Miss Rachel.
And yes, and Miss Rachel. Signing off before we overshare again.
Yeah, cue the dramatic music and follow Miss Rachel also.